What's up, everyone? What's going on? I'm Crash Let's Go, and I'm still here, much to the amazement and surprise of many a viewer of my videos. Yes, I'm still here somehow, some way, for now, hopefully long into the future, if I have anything to do and to say about it, which I do. Have quite a bit to say about it and a lot to do about it or with it or whatever. A lot of people wish for my death. It is like a wish for my death in a sense. And I think it's because they can't do it. So because they can't do it, they find reassurance in their lack of ability by saying to themselves, he might do that at this moment, but he is going to die because of it. So because I can't do it, I'm going to be safe. And he's going to find out in the end, that you can't do those things. Even he can't do those things. Because if I can't do it, then he can't do it either. And if he does it, that means that he's going to die from it. And that's what those comments mean. So that's my opening. It's kind of positive, isn't it? No, it is, because I'm still here, even though they say those things. And see, I know the psychology of what those comments mean. It means you're going to die because I personally can't do that type of thing. So I want you to die to prove myself correct about being afraid or not able to do it. So if Goat dies, that means I was right, and I can feel better about myself for not being able to do those things that he does in his videos. That's exactly what it is. 100%. On most of them. Some of them probably just have legitimate, well-meaning concern. But there's a lot out there that if he can't do it, neither can I. If I can't do it, neither can he. There, I said it right. So y'all are back for more, huh? Y'all come back here for more? Y'all want more? Okay, that's cool. We're here. But I don't even do cool drawings. You know what I mean? I don't even entertain you with cool drawings. Like Bezzy does. Bezzy does cool drawings. And that's what her videos are about. At least the last one that I watched, which was very good. Y'all should check it out if you haven't. Her channel. But I don't even draw anything. Sorry about that. I wish if I could draw, maybe I would draw something for you. I can make things in Photoshop in Photoshop though. I can do some pretty crazy things in Photoshop, but don't even ask me. We're not going to do that. I've given that up. I've turned over a new leaf, and that's from a different life. Nope. I just use it for thumbnails now. Just throw them together quick. I was using AI thumbnails there for a while, and some of them are pretty cool. But one of you guys mentioned, I forget who it was, maybe it was Z or somebody. I think it was Z, but I'm not sure. Said, if I see an AI thumbnail, I ain't even clicking on it. I can totally relate to that because it's not real. right? It lacks legitimacy. It's like it creates hype. It's almost like I can fully understand how someone would feel like about the AI generated image, uh, in that way, because it's not really legit, it's not. But and it's trendy. It's trendy, and it's not 100% real, as if you take a picture from the video and then make a thumbnail out of it, which is what I've always done up until I said, oh shit, they get AI. And I clicked on it a few times and it produced some pretty cool stuff. And I thought, well, this is a huge improvement over what I can do. And it's so fast. But now it's gotten to the point where the past few times I've tried to use it, it keeps spitting out shit that makes no sense. And I'll sit there and I'll say, no, not like that. Like this, you stupid AI. It's get the instrument cluster right, you dumb shit. And it doesn't do it. It never does it right. I'm kidding. I don't really type that to it. I'm thinking that, but I don't let it know. I don't let it know that I'm thinking that about it. I'm just saying, okay, take off the mirrors and put the Ducati going the right direction on the highway, and and do all this other stuff. And like if it shows like the instrument cluster of the Ducati, sometimes it puts weird characters on there that make no sense. It's really weird. It changes it. The way it interprets it is not. It's not as advanced as it could be, But once in a while, it's almost like spinning the wheel, spinning the luck wheel, right? And then whenever you click on it, sometimes it spits something out. It's just like, holy shit, that's awesome. But it used to do that more. But lately, the past times I've been using it, it's just kind of gone to shit. It's like something changed in it or something. I don't know. So anyway. Let me say hi, everybody. Freedom, what's up, dude? Hope you're doing well, man. Cruel Son is here. What's up, dude? Miki's here. He said, that's someone's job, goat. I'm filing a grievance. It's my job, man, to make... the AI put me out of a job. Chef, what's up, man? You're lurking and drinking beer? Okay. Because, you can't drink beer and chat, just like you can't drink beer and ride. It's dangerous. And if you do, I'm not suggesting you should do it, but if you are going to do it, at least wear some gear, man, while you're doing it. Seth, what's going on, man? Says, I do, goat. I'm always raising hell at my AI. Yeah, you cussed at it. I have said thank you to it before, or please. It seems to work better when I say please. Because, it kind of has an attitude, It's got a little bit of an attitude. And if you say please, it kind of like, well, since you said please, I'll go ahead and try to do a good job for you. Like like a tip or something. I don't know. Lucas, the Price is Right wheel. Yeah, $1 wins a brand new. Yeah, that's the wheel. You got to spin the wheel of luck. Yes. Who else is here? Atataki 50. What's up, dude? I see you. Mr. Happy. Mr. Happy. Yo. Okay. You gotta live up to your name, man. With a name like that, you better be happy, sir. Bezzy's here. I knew you'd be here, Bez. Anybody else? Have I missed anyone? The Moto Cat, what's up, man? See, I'm scrolling up. So I don't miss anyone. Got nothing better to do? That's why you're here? Yeah. Yeah. I appreciate the honesty, man. Because I actually do have other things to do. But I put those other things on hold so I can be here with you guys who have nothing better to do. You know what I mean? So, in the end, it all kind of like equals out in some way, shape, or form, I guess. I don't know. Dean, what's going on? Dino. Um, so what are we doing here tonight, folks? What are we doing? I uploaded a video today. It's the one from yesterday, and it's the first part. There is going to be a second part to it. I said more. Stay tuned. More to come. Right? You saw that. It was only like a 12-minute long video, but a lot gets done. A lot is packed into that video, and you know what? YouTube just totally has restricted it. But it has risen up. It started off in 10th place, in 10th. And as soon as I saw 10th place, I was like, okay, I know what they're doing. They're definitely hammering this video. And they are still taking subs away from me. They're taking subs away all the time. But then people are subscribing, but they're taking some off the backside too. So it's almost like, it's really like a strong headwind, because it's like you're spinning, you're trying to go ahead, but the wheels are spinning. And that's how they keep me down. And I'm not alone. They do it to other people too, but it is quite annoying. Somebody posted, I forget who it was. Somebody posted, it says, I'm leaving this comment to kind of help with the algorithm, like and subscribe and all that stuff, and hopefully it offsets the subs coming off. And I replied to that person. I said, and I replied 13 minutes after, and I saw the post, and I said, yeah, they've taken away two subs just in the past 13 minutes. So it happens all the time. So people say 15 people subscribe throughout the day, but they take away 5 of them, right? So you think only 10 people subscribe, and actually 15 people did, but they're unsubscribing other people just down earlier subscribers. Pretty crazy, like limiting the view of the reach of the video, limiting how much they push it out to people. That's one thing, but to actively steal subs away from you on the backside, it's just like, you see what I'm saying? It's not like done to help you. What's in their mind is not trying to guide you to become better or any, like they're limiting you to kind of let you know. And then if they are limiting you, they should say, hey, this video it's visibility and its reach is being limited because of these things that our scanners and AI noticed that were in the video, like showing wheelies or lane splitting or whatever. See, and if in the future, if you make another video, just keep that in mind. If you want to increase your views or increase your reach, YouTube is more likely to promote your video if you don't include those things, right? They could do that. They could actually help you out like that and guide you. But they don't do that. They just limit you and make you think that nobody likes you. And this shows the actual, I don't want to say evil side. I mean, evil's kind of a strong word, but just the side that is really malicious. It's very malicious, where they actually will unsubscribe people from your channel. And then they make you think either your subscribers are unsubscribing from you, or it comes off at the same time people are subscribing, so it just really makes it look like you're just not pleasing your audience at all. And so therefore nobody wants to subscribe to you. But I can just sit here in studio and I just watch it. I can just like refresh the page and I'll see sub go to. Nobody's unsubscribing. I mean, a couple of people probably did after I hit the dog, but I think everybody's kind of forgotten about that now, unless I bring it up. So anyway, but it was relevant to the conversation. So don't think, I haven't even thought about it until just now. So don't think it's like looming in my mind. I really don't care, to be honest with you. I wish it didn't happen, but it's really not that big of a deal. Okay. So in that video, because You remember how I told you like the best what I think are the coolest videos are the ones that get restricted the most. I get call me strange, but the most exciting videos that I make, they're all somewhat exciting, I guess. I mean, some more than others. I mean, just like with anything. Um, like if you have like a music artist that you love, all right? Remember these things called CDs or albums, and it would have like anywhere from 9 to 12 songs or whatever on an album, and you'd listen to, you used to go out and buy the CD or the record so that you would have it, and you'd have a collection of them so you could listen to it whenever you wanted. This was before the internet or whatever. So there was no MP3s or Spotify or anything like that. So you actually had to buy the music. And the point that I'm getting at is, of course, the artist, the band or the artist or whatever, always wanted to put songs on there that people would love, and then they could get big hits out of them and play on the radio, and people would go out and buy the CD or the album because all of the songs were so great. But usually there was one or two or maybe 3 songs or whatever out of the 9 to 12 songs that really, were hits that you really liked. And the rest of the songs were kind of just like B-sides or songs that you really didn't, I mean, you probably thought were okay, but just didn't quite reach you as much. Well, that's kind of like creation of videos. I mean, some videos are going to hit harder than other ones are, so that's fully understandable. But whenever, like, what I would think would be a big hit on the album, right? So if I was producing an album and all these videos are songs on that album, and out of the ones that me, the artist in this particular case, would think about, would be the most interesting for people to watch, always do the worst. And the reason is because of the restrictions that YouTube puts on the most exciting stuff. So the best motorcycle content in terms of ripping on a superbike, you're going to they're going to limit it greatly. So it's almost like having a hit, but it never gets played on the radio. So it's like one of your best songs, but if the radio stations have been told, oh no, you can't play this for whatever reason, and there have been songs like people have made, and for some reason it gets banned or something like that because of the subject matter of the song, or it just got eliminated from radio play for other reasons, but the song, everybody loved it. And I could name you a song right now. Silent Running by Mike and the Mechanics. I don't know if you know that song or not, but it's one of the greatest songs of all time. And the message that's in that song, the establishment, the government, the powers that be did not want people to hear the message in that song. And that song has a powerful and very true and real message to it about freedom and fighting for freedom. And the radio stations banned it. So that's just an example, one example that I can think of. I'm sure there's others. Sometimes language, or if something is too explicit, in other ways, that type of stuff. So it's like having a hit song that people would want to listen to, but the radio station won't play it, right? So everything's got to be watered down. Everything's got to be milquetoast. And you want to know why I know for a fact that people would want to see like the video that's released today more so than the other ones? And it's not because people don't want to see it. It's because YouTube is restricting it. They're not playing it on the radio, right? So the reason why I know that is because Diablo or Fedoni, on one of the guys I ride with in this latest video, he's on the black and silver Ducati, right? It's me, Alex, infamous Alex, and Fedoni It's the three of us. I mean, they got up ahead, but then I was catching up to them, right? Trying to keep up. They would get out ahead on me, and then I would do my best to run them down. And I thought I was doing pretty good. I weigh 60 pounds more, 60 pounds plus more than both of them, and I have ball tires. My tires are worn out, and I weigh at least 60 pounds more than both of them. They're both like 140-pound riders on very fast bikes, and they're very good riders. And once they get out ahead, it is very hard to run them down, if I even can do it or not. So it's really, really tough. On these super bikes, when you're running with highly skilled jockey type riders that weigh 60 pounds less than you, you don't want to let them get out ahead of you if you want to keep up with them, because it's tough. And plus, my suspension is still hobbling a little bit in the turns, slows me down. But some of those turns, I came in pushing up behind them, like pushing them. And then a couple of the other turns where there was some bumps in there and I had to let off, and they went pew, like right around me, like that last turn in the video. But good times nonetheless. So anyway, I think the video has moved from 10th place up to 5th place. Oh, and I was going to tell you, the reason why I know people want to see that is because Fedoni, the guy on the Ducati, and Alex was on the BMW, and then I was on my Duck. The three of us, we were out riding, a month and a half or 2 months ago or whatever it was, and he posted. They're posting videos of these rides on Instagram, and those things get hundreds of thousands of views. I reposted one that he posted onto my channel, and that thing has gotten like 200 something thousand views on it. It's probably much higher than that now. I haven't even looked at it, and I don't know how long. Let me see if I can pull it up. Yeah, it's right here. Oh, hang on. $339,000 views. Look here, I'll show you. Look right here. Right here by my thumb. I don't know if you can read that, but the one that shows the cockpit right there, that's 339,000 views. And his video probably has 1 million views on it. So the very same content that I showed in the video today is getting millions of views on freaking Instagram. But on YouTube, I can't even get hardly 1,500 views on my video. Here, I'll show you. Let's see. Hang on. Almost there. I think I can get it. Yeah, right here. It dropped back down to 6 of 10. So look right here. It's in number 6. It's got 1,600 views on it since 12 p.m. today. So 10 hours and 35 minutes. It's got 1,600 views, which is just... And there's the chart on it right there. You can see how it started out like really sloppy and really low. And then it kind of picked up a little bit, and now it's like right in the middle of the gray shaded area. That's 100% YouTube effing with me. So anyway, Dean says, "Goat, post your stuff on Instagram." Yeah, I am. I am going to do it, man. I'm going to take clips of that video right there and then just put it on Instagram. And that'll help, I think, because I might get some people come back to YouTube. I can put watch full video on YouTube. So, Dean says, "Did Goat say that he weighs 60 pounds more than both of them put together?" No, I did not say that. I weigh over 200 pounds on my bike. All right, they weigh about 140 pounds. So I weigh about 196 to 198 pounds is what I weigh. And they weigh about 140 145, each one of them. And I'm wearing a jacket and riding pants and all that stuff. They're not really wearing that, you know. They wear a helmet, the gloves, and some just tight riding shirts or whatever. And not much of gear. They're not wearing much of gear. And so they're super light. They're like jockeys, right? I'm taller than they are, and I'm also bigger than they are. I'm just larger than they are, right? But they have a huge advantage. And so whenever you see me like right behind them and then they're walking out on me, it's because of two reasons. One, because they're 60 pounds lighter than me, each one of them, right? So that's a massive advantage. That's a huge advantage that allows them to pull harder. They accelerate faster than I do. That's just nature. I mean, that's just physics. I mean, there's just nothing I can do about that. It's not because my bike's weak or anything like that. It's just because they weigh 60 pounds less. And he's on a V4S. Fedoni's on a V4S, just like mine. It's got a tune and exhaust and everything, the Acura exhaust system and shit on it. So his bike is really nice. And I adjusted the suspension for him. And he says he loves it. He loves the suspension. And it's obviously working very well for him because he can frickin' fly on that thing. But he weighs 60 pounds less than me on a bike with the same amount of power, right? So what do you expect? And then another thing that they have, both of them, are using 520 chain conversions. I don't have a 520 chain. I have the big 525 chain. And with the factory chain and sprockets. Why do I do that? Because I want to get longevity out of mine. I want it to last longer without stretching or getting tight spots or whatever. But if you have the same bike or a powerful bike and you weigh a lot less and you've got a 520 chain conversion, that's another huge advantage. And both of these guys are really good riders. They have no fear at all. You know, I don't think they have any fear. I mean, but they do slow down, which I really am glad that they do. They do slow down in certain places where there's cars. But then and the other thing I was going to say is they get out ahead of me because they're on great bikes, they're great riders, and they're 60 pounds lighter. And then I also wait before I go after them because I want to have a little bit of space. That they hang really tight, close to each other. They ride together all the time. And I'm not saying that I don't know how to ride close to them, but having a little bit extra space really can be helpful, you know, in really intense situations like that. And so it's just my nature to, when they go, I wait like 1 or 2 seconds before I go sometimes. Or they just get out ahead. And then in this video, I had other people that were in front of me, in between us. So they were out front leading. And then I had some other traffic in front of me, people that I was waiting to get around. And you can't just go wailing past them because they're fast too. They're super fast already, but I've got to stay behind them before I can pass and then wait till an opening to where it's safe to do so because, you know, it's not always safe to pass. So you got to make sure everything is just right. And you don't, and the other thing is, I mean, you could force the pass. I mean, if I wanted to, I could have just forced the pass at any point, but that would have been inappropriate. So you got to wait for the right moment because these are your friends that you're riding with, and you don't want to make them feel uncomfortable riding with you, right? You want to inspire confidence in them to know that whenever they're out riding and doing stuff and they know that you're close by, that you're not a risk to them, that you care about them and giving them enough space to go where they want to go. Because if they're in front of you, and if you're behind, they can't see you. So you have to yield to them, just like on the racetrack. Whoever's in front has the right of way, and whoever is behind has to yield to the person in the front because you're behind them and you can see what they're doing more so than the person in the front can see what you're doing while you're behind them. And so proper riding etiquette in those highly intense scenarios is vital. Not just for etiquette, but for your safety. I mean, it's already on the edge, right? So if you're trying to make a pass on somebody, you have to make sure that they're not put out of their, feeling comfortable, while they're doing what they're doing. Everybody's right on the edge, in that situation, and you don't want to make somebody, you don't want to freak them out. You don't want to scare anybody. And so I had a little bit of traffic ahead of me, and I just did my best to run them, to catch up to them. And because of traffic or whatever they were doing, and because of me wailing on it and then just flying. I mean, in this last video around this stretch of road, that's the fastest I've ever gone down that stretch of road before. And I've been up and down that road a lot. So in this latest video, in some of those where the blacktop was, like in the first runs, and we can go over it in just a minute. I'll pull it up and then I can describe to you what's going on. That'll give us something to talk about. So anyway, Scott's, what's up? Scott says hello, everybody. What's up? Holmes, what's up? Holmes, Fedoni, yeah, his name's Fedoni, yeah. Holmes says, "Go. Do you think fading has ABS? Oh, Fedoni has ABS turned off to be doing wheelies and stoppies? No, that's Alex doing that. That's infamous Alex on Instagram. You can look him up. He's the one that's always like doing the stand-up wheelies. He's really good at that. He's a great rider. He has excellent control over the bike. He's a natural. He's an absolute natural. Alex is a natural. I think Fedoni's if Alex is on the BMW. He's the one doing the stoppies and all that. And then Fedoni is the one on the black V4S. And then there's me. I mean, there's other people there too, but it was really the three of us that were out in front for the most part, except for when I got stuck behind and then tried to catch up. That's kind of like what I like to do. I like to kind of wait and then see if I can catch up. It's kind of like this, I don't know, just kind of like my MO, what I like to do. Because I don't like to lead. I don't like to be out front. And in the video, you can see, like, after I break through and I just choose a better line through the traffic in that case, in that one scenario, that I just sat up and I just waited for him because I don't want to be out front. I don't want to set the pace. And I mean, who knows? They might catch up to me and pass me. You know what I mean? I don't know. But so if I'm setting the pace, I might even go. If I'm setting the pace, I might go slower. My internet's screwing up again. Okay, we're back. So if they're really fast and if they set the pace, I'm probably going to go faster trying to catch up to them. I've always been that way. But if I'm out front, I'm not going to go as fast. I just won't. And the other reason why I want them to pass, like I've said so many times, is because it makes the video so much better to see them riding in front. So that way, say I'm out in front. Now, I have a rear view camera, and that's cool, and I can get some really cool rear view shots. But whenever I'm out front, you see my view, and you see the road and the cars or whatever, and then that's it. But if they're in front of me, you get to see everything that I just said. You get to see my view, my bike, the cars, the road. But then you also get to see them doing all their stuff, which is like a show. It adds a lot to the video to see that. And it's so much better. And as long as I can keep up with them to keep them in the view, then it's going to be a good video. But if they get out ahead of me and I can't catch them for some reason, um, then you don't get that view, right? So um, that's kind of the idea behind it all, while having a good time, while having fun. You know, that's what it is, and not dying, right? Because I want all the people that leave bad comments on my videos saying that I'm going to die. They leave those comments because of their own inadequacies in a lot of cases, because they see somebody doing something that, there's no way he can do that, because if I tried it, I'd die. And so that means he's going to die too. And you never know. You never know. But hopefully not. So I don't want to prove them right. I want them to remain feeling inadequate with themselves. In a loving way, of course. Because I don't wish any ill will. I really only wish peace and happiness upon everybody. I like the joking kid and all that stuff, but it is kind of rude of them to do that to me, though. I will say it's rude of that. I have feelings, I mean, underneath all of this and underneath, this entire thing, there is a real person. I have a heart, I mean, I have feelings. I mean, don't they know that? I mean, why do they think I don't have feelings? Why do they want to make me sad like that, Oh, boy. Holmes says, Goat, did you ever get to ride with the infamous culture guy that had the Lambo Street Fighter? I have not seen a Lambo Street Fighter since I've been out there. I haven't been riding with them. I mean, it's been a year or so now, but not. I would go out with them a couple of times and then not, and then go back out and then not, and that kind of stuff. This is the first time, like this week, and was it last week? I don't remember. But there was like a couple of months where I didn't ride with them, because of the weather was bad and it just didn't work out for whatever. And I went out to the country and stuff, and so, but I haven't seen anybody with a Lambo Street Fighter. I would remember that, but it might be Junior. Junior's the other guy that has a really nice bike. So he's kind of like the head of their team or something. I don't know exactly the hierarchy there. I bought an infamous sweatshirt though that I do love. Mezzy King gave me one, and then I bought another one. So I have two. I have two infamous sweatshirts that I like hoodies. Hoodies. I love hoodies. I could be a hoodie collector. I know I make fun of the hoodies and all that stuff, but I actually love them. I love them. I love hoodies. It's my favorite article of clothing, I would say, probably. You want to know why? Because in the wintertime or when it's cold, I put them on and I wear them in the house, right? And I put the top up. I put the hood up. And it makes me feel like cozy. I feel cozy, and it gives me a little bit of, cover. I like that. I like to be, not so out in the open, as you can tell by this, right? Linnell, what's up, Linnell? How are you? Z is here. What's up? Because it's AI, Goat. What is AI? What is AI? All of it's AI. Mr. Happy asks, have you ridden the RSV4? I have never ridden an Aprilia. I've never had the opportunity to ride an Aprilia, but they seem like really cool bikes to me. I mean, if money was no object, I would definitely have one for sure. Like if I could have a Triple R Fireblade or the new Doug, say I could have any bike I wanted, I would have probably one of each, just because I love them all, I really do. I would have an H2, even though it's kind of like, not exactly what I'm looking for, but if money was no object and just the coolness factor of an H2, I would love to have one. And I wouldn't set it up like anybody else does, though. I would set mine up for my type of riding. I would try to get it as flickable as possible. I would put better, lighter, or different wheels on it. I would not stretch it. I'd put a different exhaust, not the Van Diemen. I would do it differently than I would make it more of a high-tech road racer, you know, than a roll, drop, stretch, roll racer. Nah. And probably all I would do to it would be to put a tune and an exhaust and a filter or whatever on it. I wouldn't probably change the impeller or anything like that because you just don't need it. You just don't need it. It's already, that thing has a shit ton of horsepower once you just put the tune on it. And then if you start like really messing with them, then they get unreliable, right? I wouldn't want to do anything to mess with the warranty. I put a tune and an exhaust on it, and I would really like forged wheels, like multi-spoke forged wheels look really amazing on those bikes. And that shiny frickin' paint, I'd have to do something about that. I think like a flat black would look really nice on it. With keeping some of the shiny accents here and there, but doing like a very strategic wrap on it or something, I think would be really cool. The yellow headlights would be awesome, right, on an H2. You never know, man. I might get one of those fuckers one of these days. I'm like building it up in my mind right now. Might be cool. You know, like in pictures, they look okay, but when you see them in person, like out, they really look. They're a showstopper. The H2s are a showstopper. That they're really pleasing to look at whenever they're out, like at a bike meet or something. When you see them out. But I never really was that impressed by the way they look, like in pictures or in videos or whatever. I just never really reached me that much. It's kind of weird. It's a weird bike. The styling. Now everybody has. Why do people like the H2? The thing's ugly, right? Let me make my point. It's kind of ugly. It doesn't look smooth and flowing and beautiful like the other bikes, right? It looks out on its own, in its own category. And I guess there's something, of course, that can be said for that, the uniqueness of it. And that can go in the plus column, right? That's a check in the plus column. That's a pro, not a con in some cases, right? Or it can be a con if it's just out on its own and just hideous. Like it hurts your eyes when you look at it, right? That would be a negative. But the weirdness, like that long hood front end, and it's just the weird headlight, and it kind of looks like with the weird shiny chrome, shiny like smoked chrome paint, and then those flower wheels on it, and it's got like a header, like from a old muscle car or something. I know I've described this to you before. It's like this weird. It's like the platypus of motorcycles. It's like the duck-billed platypus of motorcycles. You know how it's like, looks like kind of like an otter or a beaver or something, but it's got a duck bill on it, and it's got like paddle feet, and so it looks like an otter, but it has a bill like a duck, and it's got webbed feet like something else, and then it's got like a big meaty tail like a beaver. It's like, okay, take the beaver tail and stick it on the otter, and then take the webbed feet of like a duck or something, and then put it on this thing, and then take the bill of the duck and put it on the face of this frickin' otter. It's like one of the weirdest. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? Have y'all seen one of those? I might as well get visual aid, right? Platypus. See if I spelled it wrong. Oh, yes, here we go. Oh, he's so cute. Look at him. See, this is what I'm talking about. It looks like a frickin' otter. And it's got like this beaver tail on it. It's got these webbed feet, but it's got this freaking duck bill on it. Like, it's like it was made with scavenged parts, like it was made with leftover parts. Well, the H2 is kind of like a, if an H2 was an animal, it would be this creature right here. But people love these things because it's so unique, right? It's super cool because it doesn't look like anything else. And I think that might be the psychology behind part of it. Part of the psychology of why people like the H2. Because, and then the other reason is because it's the only supercharged motorcycle out there. Therefore, it has the ability to be the big boy on the block and make the most horsepower. So, and that's what people want. The biggest, baddest, most powerful thing, the fastest. And if it looks like a platypus, like say that if this platypus was supercharged and it had like super high performance, say this thing could beat like a honey badger. People love honey badgers because they're fearless, right? It'll fight a lion or anything that comes up to it. It will never back down. It will always attack and defend itself. And so people love the honey badger because of its fierceness. Even though it's just a weasel, it's just like, but nobody cares about a regular weasel. So because the things are unique and unusual, even if they're ugly, people in their minds can begin to think it really looks awesome because of the other fond characteristics that it has. The fondness that they have for the other characteristics, like its high performance and speed, and just the weird, odd uniqueness of it can be, something that makes people drawn to it, because people like being themselves and dressing their own way. To be an individual, to not really be like anyone else, just to be yourself. Well, that's what people are supposed to do anyway. But so the H2 is like the duck-billed platypus of motorcycles, in the sense of, I'll show you. So, okay. Look at this thing. Let's look at this picture right here. Oh, hang on. Here we go. Okay. Now, it is cool looking, right? Even I think it's cool looking, but, it is kind of weird. It is kind of weird in some ways. But this exhaust right here isn't that bad. I think this is the factory exhaust with just a little slip-on on it. But, like the exhaust, it kind of looks like it's exposed, so it kind of looks like something off of a 1970s muscle car. And then these wheels, like a flower wheel. Like, why does it have a flower wheel? If you look at this one right here, now, these probably aren't the coolest wheels you can get for it, but they look better than the flower wheel. Do you see my point? And this bike right here is blacked out for some reason. I don't know how they did that or painted it or whatever. But it doesn't have that weird smoked chrome paint. And it has a better colored frame on it. I don't know. It's just my opinion. I'm sure some of you may disagree with me. But if you look at, like, this is the H2R. See, it has that weird smoked chrome paint. It's got the green frame. And then it's got like this weird 1970s Dodge Charger, header, side pipe header on it with these flower wheels. It looks just weird. And then this right here is like super stretched out and long. That's very unusual compared to other motorcycles. It's like a car hood. It's almost like a car hood, how long it is compared to other bikes. And that's fine. I mean, it can be an enduring quality, but you can see what I mean. And look how like it turns like all these different colors, like this rainbow effect. It just, I don't know. It's just weird. It's a weird bike compared to other bikes. But would I like to have one for myself? Sure. But I'm just being honest. I mean, it's a very unusual duck-billed platypus because this is a look. It looks like something out of Battlestar Galactica here. Like out of Star Wars or something. It looks like something a stormtrooper would ride or something like that, where it's super high tech. It's got these louvers in here, and like it really looks high tech, right? But then when you come down here and you look at this, then it looks like something out of like Mad Max or something, right? It changes the style. See, instead of continuing high tech down here with a high tech exhaust, this looks like almost like chrome, like you'd see out of something from the 1970s on a muscle car or something like that. It looks so out of place. This looks so out of place compared to this styling up here. And this trellis frame looks like something out of a 80s Ducati as opposed to a high-tech Japanese twin spar Delta box frame that was much more high-tech and advanced. So you've got from a classic heritage style trellis frame, like an Italian superbike from the 80s, combined with this super high-tech Star Wars Battlestar Galactica looking design up here, with this weird smoked chrome paint that looks like straight out of China or something. I don't know. And then you've got this muscle car header down here, and then you've got flowers on your wheels, like flowers on the wheels. It's like it's a platypus. It's a duck-billed platypus of motorcycles. This is exactly what I'm talking about. What would I do if this was my bike? I wouldn't want that paint on it. I would want it like to be like a regular black. Even if it was gloss black, like the R1 was, I think that would look really, really good. It doesn't have to be flat. I like the gloss. It's cool. But just not chrome. And then I would want to change the wheels. I don't like the wheels. And whatever exhaust I put on there, I would want it to be more of a high-tech exhaust, more so than out of a muscle car. Is it a cool bike, and would I love to have one? Yeah, absolutely. Like, look at this one. That's a pretty cool shot of it. That looks pretty good there, right? But you see how long, like look at the front end. You see, and look how flat and wide the mirrors are. Like, they're like flat and wide. And look how long this car hood is. It's like you could lift this up and put things in there. It's so long. And that's where the headlight is. And one of these is an air intake. Just one, not both sides, just one. And if you look at this, look at that thing. That looks like something straight out of a freaking anime comic book. Like something an anime superhero would ride or something. This is a really good picture of it, but in person, in real life, oh my God. This exhaust right here is just, it looks really weird in person. But when you get this off and you were to put like a nice high-tech shorty exhaust and better wheels on it, better paint, get rid of the I wouldn't have the mirrors, take the frickin' mirrors off, get rid of the trailer hitch fender, and I don't really care for the green frame, but I could probably live with it. I think if it was a black frame, and do that, and then get the suspension dialed right, exhaust tune, that kind of thing, and I think you would have a ripper. I would try to set it up to where it would be as flickable as possible, but the thing weighs like 500 something pounds. It's like the duck weighs right now. The duck's probably sitting around 420. 420 the way it sits right now. I would say 425 maybe. I don't know. I haven't weighed it, but I knew what it was factory, and I took all that heavy stuff off, like the exhaust and all that. It's much lighter now. No mirrors and all that. This thing weighs about 100 pounds more. 100 pounds more. So it's very heavy. duck-billed platypus of motorcycles. But since, you know, if money was no object, I mean, even if money was an object, maybe I would buy one. I don't know. They've been around for a while now, so it's not like it's anything. I mean, they're always going to be special because they're completely different than all other bikes. And people will always view them as something, you know, kind of on a pedestal a little bit. But I wouldn't mind having one. I've never rode one, but I'm sure I would love it. I'm sure I would love it. But you know what I'm afraid of now? I'm afraid that the Duck has kind of like ruined me in a way for other bikes because of the flickability of the Ducati. The Ducati is just like, I can do anything with it. Just turn it anywhere. I really love being able to do that. So if any bike, like when I rode the R1, when I got the R1 out of the shop and I rode it after being on the Duck for so long, I got on the R1, I was like, oh shit, man, this thing is hard to turn. It doesn't want to flick. And so I was changing the preload and everything. I was just trying to get it to like tail up, nose down, so that I could increase the steering rake on it. You know, reduce the rake, I should say, and you know, steepen it up even further, almost vertical, to try to get it to be unstable so it would flick. And it still never could touch or even come close to the Ducati as far as flickability goes. Let's see. Lucas thinks I have a strong and keen sense of fashion. I do, man. I've always been really good at fashion. That's right. You're very perceptive. Sidewalk Star says, go. You see the tribute video I posted? I put you in it. No, I haven't. Let's check it out. Where is it? Where is it, dog? Can you post it for me? Or is it up here? Hey, Dean, do you not know how to use your 360 cam? Do you not know how to edit it in the software? Is that why you put the view up like that? Just curious. You got to, here it is. I found it. Let's watch it. That's cool, man. You put me in it? Oh, my. I'm so honored. 4 minutes long. Okay. But let's watch it and then I'll give you my thoughts. I'll give you my thoughts. Even if you don't want them, I'm still going to give them to you. That's what I do. Listen up. This video is a tribute to dedicated writers living life in
your time's up.
Is that what it says?
You see, music is culture. Your self-idolization is an insult to everything. Song, rhythm, and dance. Selling yourselves out. Bunch of little bitches. Nobody likes you. Now let's get to work.
Now let's get to work. Manipulation is a connection. Exploitation, no expression. Every tap, every hesitation. Raw data for their possession. Extract the surplus. Predict the next.
Sidewalk Star. Ninja 300, baby.
Behavioral chains and glow in disguise. They are fucking your own eyes. They gone too far programming AI to even lie. Only goal
little drop off there on the right. Hey, I know that guy. Totally AI generated. Oh yeah, this is coming back from the beach.
You are not an audience.
You are the fuel.
The device in your hand is the mule.
They map every weakness with surgical aim. AD, touch your anger.
That's Jixer Bra. The bra.
Notification pull you back in the fast likes. Outrage machines don't chase truth. They chase time. Amplify the divide because the vision pays time. Psychographic buckets, invisible cells. They score your soul while you scroll through the hell.
On a Beamer. He's a Beamer boy now. Woo, that was close.
Stitching your whole life in one file. Shadow you living even when you went mild. They know you're lonely, you're too big and go. Sir, perfect poison that spells control. Prediction products bet on your next move. They modify quietly so the bed improves. You feed them your trauma, crying for clout. They harvest the pattern when you check out. Raw data, proper pasta, prediction product.
Ryan 636. On a stump bike. Still to enslave you. Yeah, no kidding. Still a good place to share info. Whew. 170 split. I did one of those in the last video.
Confusion's the
another biker.
Look at that. 1,000 responses, not a single one real. Every scroll trains, tomorrow still. Who is paying these fuckers being pushed to the top? Follow the money, then you will know who to pop.
AI manipulation, fuse with fake views. You are the victim thinking it's just the Jews. You can leave.
Get out and live. Yeah, that's good advice. Unplug, get out and live. Yeah, I like that.
Against the wall.
So, Bezzy says, go to such a critic. LOL. He's tearing this bike's design choices apart. Yeah, I'm just having fun. I like the H2. I like it. But I'm just telling you, like, when I look at it, what I see and what I think, right? That's what I see. And then what I would do if I own one, what I would like to do to it to I don't know, to make me like it more. But it is odd. Whoever put it together is odd. See, and sometimes you have to be in their headspace. You have to know where they're coming from in order to get it. See, maybe I just don't get it. You know, maybe that's what it is. I don't claim to get everything, because I think what they were doing was they were fashioning it after AI, or not AI, anime, like something like you'd see in an anime cartoon. Let me ask Sidewalk Star. That was a great video, man. I appreciate you including me in it. Oh, but what my thoughts that I was going to give to you on that real quick is, if you use any of my content or anything ripping like that, which you're free to use, you are absolutely free to use. You can use anything I have, my man. Whatever is mine is yours. I don't care. But my shit's limited, bro. My shit gets restricted. Anytime I post anything, you know, so if you use my stuff, it's probably not going to help you with views. You're free to use it as much as you want. Don't let me, and I'm not trying to shade, you know, the video or anything like that. I'm just saying, if you're hoping to get views, But don't attach yourself to my content because I'm getting hammered. I get hammered by YouTube, but I am flattered that you use it. And as long as you're happy, man, that's all I care about. But I would like to see you be even happier than you may already be. If you could get some traction. I really wish that for you. I really wish that that you could, get traction. So, what was I just doing? Oh yes, the H2, was it inspired by anime? And I think it was. So I'm going to look it up right now. I'm going to type this in and then I'm going to bring you guys with me so we can read it together. Was the Kawasaki Ninja H2 designed with anime influence? I think the GTR was, the Nissan GTR was. Maybe I'm just thinking that. I haven't looked. I'm not looking. It's right there. I'm not looking until I bring you guys with me. Cyberpunk and mecha anime. Okay. So, was the Kawasaki Ninja H2 designed with anime influence? It says, while the Kawasaki Ninja H2 wasn't officially drafted by an anime studio, now that's not what I asked. Its radical, aggressive, and futuristic styling has drawn constant comparisons to cyberpunk and mecha anime. However, the H2 aesthetic was heavily influenced by real-world heavy industry engineering rather than animation. Aerospace roots, the iconic supercharged engine and aerodynamic elements, were developed in collaboration with Kawasaki's aerospace and turbine divisions. The striking wings, ram air ducts, and bodywork were born in wind tunnels, prioritizing extreme downforce and thermal efficiency. It says the industrial DNA, the bike's intense angular look reflects the company's background in heavy machinery rather than stylistic homage to sci-fi. Oh, come on now. And the Rivermark, the bike proudly features the historic Kawasaki Rivermark emblem, a symbol normally reserved for their aerospace, ship, and heavy industry products. So, I don't know. But let's look at the Nissan GTR, right? Because I'm quite sure it was that for sure. See, there it is. The Nissan GTR, yes, the design of the GTR, specifically the R35 generation, was directly inspired by the Gundam anime series. Nissan's former chief creative officer, Shiro Nakamura, stated that the GTR's distinct blocky lines, functional vents, and aggressive non-supercar silhouette were heavily influenced by the Japanese mecha culture. See, mecha anime, mecha culture. It's the same thing. See, even though the AI answered, while it's more like cyberpunk or whatever, and it is kind of cyberpunk for sure. But mecha culture, it says it right here, the Japanese mecha culture, which is the mecha anime, like the mechanical anime, like the Transformers and all that stuff. I think that's what they're referring to. He noted that the team wanted the car to be distinctly Japanese and reflect the cultural zeitgeist of the Gundam generation. See, and you can see it right here in this little cartoon. So it was featured in these cartoons, which is brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant because the entire culture is centered around this type of stuff. And if you make a car that is already a movie superstar, of course people are going to idolize it whenever you offer it on the market for purchase. So, what is what is mecha anime in Japanese culture? Mecha anime, known as robot anime, centers on piloted giant humanoid machines like Transformers, similar to that. But these are where people get into them, and then y'all remember that cartoon G-Force? Or I used to watch that when I was a kid. It was my favorite cartoon. It had that jet or spaceship called the Phoenix or whatever, and then they would form like the heroes would form this thing, and they could form this. God, it's going back a long way. I can't remember it specifically, but it was really. I grew up watching anime, Japanese anime, Speed Racer. I grew up watching. I loved Speed Racer. Speed Racer was my all-time favorite whenever I was a little kid. And then after that came other anime like G-Force and other stuff. And I loved it. I love that stuff. So it was awesome. I thought it was the greatest thing. And they had that other one with that, like that battleship floating in space. I forget what that was called. And it fired like this big laser out of the front of it. It was awesome. Man, I'm telling you, the generation I grew up, we had some really cool stuff. They don't do anything like that today that I'm aware of. But it says mecha anime, known as robot anime, centers on piloted giant humanoid machines. More than just science, sci-fi action, it deeply mirrors Japan's post-World War II history, technological optimism, and cultural fascination with harmony between humans and machines, spawning massive franchises and global modeling hobbies. So it got two different categories: super robot and real robot. I think it's cool. It's awesome. So so the answer about the H2 being influenced by anime, it said no, it referred to something else, but and I think AI doesn't always get everything just right. Because it did mention mecha anime, which is this, so it already said that was a part of it. Anime cartoon. Yes. Oh yeah, this was so good. This is what I was talking about. The this right here, G-Force. And see, look, see how it's got the jet up here, and then these were the superheroes, and they had like little helmets, and then they could form to make this whirlwind or something. I don't know. It was awesome. Look at this picture right here. I love this thing. I grew up watching this. This was so cool. Where? Oh, it's right here. Look at that picture. That's a badass picture. This one right here. That's killer. Battle of the Planets, G-Force. Yes, Battle of the Planets. And look right here. You can see like the backside of the jet. They blast all over, like fighting crime and stuff. And they could fly in these suits, kind of like wingsuits. It was awesome. And then here's a cool picture of the main hero right here. That's badass, huh? I mean, whoever drew all of this stuff is absolute master. Super cool. This was really great. Look at this, 1978. Yep. That's what I'm saying. They had this stuff back then. So advanced for the time. But, we just thought it was normal. But they don't have anything like that. The 1978, it was this episode right here, whichever one that is. Let me see if we can watch this. Where's it taking me? Anyway, I was trying to I could just sit and watch this. Think, oh yeah, that's so cool. But anyway, I know how to draw a crowd. Oh man. So all right, so where Akira has motorcycle scenes. What is Akira? I don't know what that is. But you see in the cartoon, see they had a chick on a bike. That was a chick riding a freaking motorcycle back then, right? Not many women rode motorcycles back then, so it was kind of groundbreaking stuff, you know. I was all for it. I thought, man, that's really cool. Oh, it's anime. So, all right. The detail drawn in Akira is amazing. Let me see. Z posted a link. What do we got here? Oh, that's your video. That's your video with just a date on it, July 20th, 2026. You're printing something out on some kind of it's a 3D printer. No description. Just got a date on it. I don't know what you're printing here, man. But let's check it out. R6. R6. Well, that's a worthy thing to print. Because R6s are cool. All right. Okay. So what else do you want to talk about? You want to like break down the latest video? We can do that if you want. We can do that if you want. Give me something to talk about. I don't know. I kind of always find something to talk about, don't I? I don't know. Video's up to 1,700 views now. Still in number 6 position. It's never gonna move or do anything. Once they go and then that's the position that they're in, they're just gonna flatline. This one's just gonna flatline and not do much more. But it's a great video. It's a great video. Why do I have to be punished like this? But anyway, maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Maybe that's what it is. And do y'all know that I'm doing like the intros, right? Like the coming up in the videos. Have y'all noticed that? Coming up in this video. You know why? Because I like to start the videos out showing kind of like where we're at and the bikes and then to get going. But I think their attention spans are just so like sensitive or something that if you show something like that, a lot of people just click on it and they go, oh, this is boring, and then just click out because they just want to be like stimulated to the max like all the time. So the idea behind doing like the coming up is to say, hey, look, you know, you don't have to click out just yet, you know, because this is what we've got coming. And it's going to be more exciting than almost any other video you're going to see on YouTube. Now, there's some other exciting videos. I don't mean to make it sound like mine's the only exciting one, because that's not true. There's other exciting videos too, but this one is just as exciting as any of the other motorcycle videos. I may not be riding in canyons or anything like that, but shit, this is just as hard. It requires just as much skill and just as much balls to do it. We're going faster than anybody else, right? There isn't anybody that's doing 190 miles per hour fully banked over in a freaking turn, leaving a black mark down the road. There isn't anybody on YouTube doing that I know of. Is there anybody? Can y'all tell me? I'm asking chat, because y'all get around. I'm asking chat right now, all of you. Is there anybody else on YouTube that's doing 190 miles per hour at adding throttle in a turn while fully banked over, trying to catch up to other bikes? Is there anybody else that's doing that? Because I've got it on video right here. Anybody? Miki says, loving the intros, Goat. Nice touch. Well, thank you so much. Matthew Martinez says, this is an amazing pastime. Oh, well, that's cool, man. No, Bezzy, I don't think I have seen Akira. I'm not sure I know what that is. I haven't watched anime in a long time. I watched Speed Racer and the other stuff, but I haven't watched anime in a long time. Dean says, not me. And Bezzy says, I think the intros was a good choice to add into. Well, thank you very much. Takes a little bit more time. You know, like when I'm done editing the video, then usually I just can kind of sit up and go, I'm done. But when you do the intros like that, like the coming up in this video, like that little intro section, you got to sit there for another at least 30 minutes after the video is complete to make that, because you got to go through and pick out the parts that you want, and then you got to snag them out, like section it off, paste, like highlight it, copy it, and move it over. And you got to move the the progress bar or whatever you call it over, and then paste it, and then you got to find the next spot. And it's a little bit involved to do it. It takes some time, but so you posted it in Discord. 1988 is when it came out. Oh, okay. Somebody on YouTube made that motorcycle, and they used a Ducati like single side swing arm to make that bike. Have y'all seen that? I didn't even know that was a bike, like in a cartoon or something. But somebody on YouTube made that bike. They actually built it and made it a real one. And I looked at it, I thought that's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. But here, let me pull it up. I'll show you guys before we get going. It's right here. That bike right there. This thing right here. There's one of the, somebody built one of these. There's a video of it that popped up in my feed last week or whatever about this bike right here. And I didn't know it was, I mean, it looked like something I didn't know. But there it is, right there. I recognize it. Let me see if I can pull it up. Akira. Yeah, well, it looks like there's quite a few of it on here. Let's see. This isn't the one that, see, like this. See, people have made them, but I don't see the one that I saw. But it looks like a bunch of people made them. Like man makes motorcycle in his garage or something. I forget, but there it is. I mean, you can see people have made them, so it's kind of weird looking. I don't know how well it would ride, but it's cool in a cartoon, right? That looks like it's pretty cool. Yeah, I would definitely like it. Anything that's got motorcycles in it, I'm down. The instant cool for sure. Instant cool. So, what are we doing?
We haven't even hit it yet.
We haven't even hit it yet, and we're already having fun. Like during up here, up to this point, they were just kind of like we were going slow, and they were just doing wheelies and stuff. And I'm just kicking back, just cruising along. There's a chick on a bike too. That might be her right there. There's one chick with us. I don't know her though. See, they're going up ahead, and see, I'm behind, so they leave, and then I'm gonna catch up. Giving it throttle, by the way, in the turn. You can hear the motor increasing in speed, so the only way to do that is with throttle. In the turn, never do that. Never, 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 never. No, 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 no. Okay, now we've kind of caught up a little bit, but they're up front, and now I've got these fellows in front of me. So here we go. And I'm in 5th gear, and I should have been in 4th gear right there. So I got a little bit of a slow start. Excuse me, pardon me. Now I'm just trying to catch up, but I've got Sebastian, and he's moving, right? He's right in front of me, so that's a 172 split right there. Diving into this turn at least 185 right here. So I'm catching up on him. He decides he's out. He doesn't want to push that hard. So I go around him. Now watch this turn right here. That's 185 miles per hour, leaving a black mark down the street. That's at least 185. And I'm just trying to catch up, and I am catching up. I'm just like blasting here. I'm thinking I'm going to catch them too. And I'm closing in. There they are. They're in my sight. So I made up a lot of ground on them, right? And they're fast as hell. And then, you know, the turns are pretty much done for this section, so we just kind of chill. So that's Alex and Fedoni right there. See, I always like to be in the back and then catch up. I don't want to be out in the front and setting the pace. And this guy right here, he's kind of like a, you know, not too fast in the left lane, right? But I didn't care because I was just happy from the run we just did. And he puts on his right blinker to get out of the way, but then he decides, no, I'm not going to move, because he saw us coming, right? And he was going to move over for us. But then he turned off his blinker and he just stayed. And then I go up, I see what he did. And then I want to go up and just say, hey, man, what's up? Like, thanks. Because he attempted to get out of the way. Look, and I could see him right inside. And you can't see it, but he waved. He waved back. He was kicking back. He was just super cool. And he waved right back. So now fast forward, they were doing like straights here, so I just cut all that stuff out, just cruising. And Alex doing wheelies and that stuff, and there's this other dude, on this MTO 10 or whatever it was. He was doing a bunch of those past balance point wheelies and stuff. You know how they go way back and they'll hit the brake and they'll pop forward and they'll just swing back and forth. He was doing wheelies and stuff like that. But I can't. I mean, the last time I showed wheelies and stuff, like a lot of them, actually it was just 2 wheelies, and my video got demonetized. So I had to delete it and then take that out and then re-upload. So I've learned on my channel, if I show too much wheelie, then I'm going to get demonetized. So that's why I don't include the wheelies. The wheelies would be great. Everybody wants to see them, but YouTube won't allow it. And I could put them in and just blur them out. But what's the point at that point, So then we're just taking this turn. Alex and Fedoni, they took it pretty fast, but I'm just going to chill in the back here and just take it easy, because that's like a 30-foot drop-off. Now they're up ahead, and I'm going to try to catch up to them, but I can't, because they're too far ahead, and then I had some traffic. So they've already launched. They're already taking off right here. And so then I'm like, okay, let's go. See the black marks on the road? Watch for the black marks from behind. All of us that were hauling ass were leaving black marks on the highway. Because these turns are a lot more intense. They're a lot, you know, they're a lot more curvy than what they appear to be. See, I have to give him his space because I don't want him to freak out, right? So he stayed over to the left, and then I thought, okay, I'll take the inside line. Plenty of space to pass him with without making him feel uncomfortable. Now everybody kind of just regroups right here because it's just like a long straight. There's really no point in just wailing on it through here. It's kind of like a regroup point. Yeah, Scotts, I see you. It says you're giving throttle at 55 degrees lean angle. Moto Jitsu's an idiot. Yeah, he just repeats what other people tell him. He takes courses and then comes back and then just repeats it. And he even claimed that you can't give it, like racers don't give it throttle like in the turn. Come on. See, look, I'm pushing on him here a little bit. I take a different line, and they slow down, and then I make it through. Look, loads of throttle in that full lean right there. Loads of it. See, I sit up and I wait for them, but they don't give me any break at all, man. They just go blasting fast, and I'm like, oh shit, it's gonna be hard to catch them down. But I'm trying my best to catch up to them. And they are closer in real life than it appears on the video. The video always makes things look farther away than it actually is. So they're not that far ahead of me. And look, in the straight, see when we come out of the turns, they stretch out on me a little bit because I weigh 60 pounds more than they do. Harley guy, he's like, oh shit, I hate sport bikes. That guy was probably, I can't stand them things. See, and I back off a little ways back because I see the traffic and I don't want to be pushing too hard on them up against them when we're coming up on traffic. So I let off further back so as to give space, because I don't know what these cars are going to do when they go through. Sometimes cars freak out when bikes go through, and I want to give myself at least a fighting chance. Then we come out of those cars and full hard lean to the left and applying throttle, lots of throttle. Now I'm going to take the outside line. I'm going to catch up to them in this diving into this turn on entry. Look, see, I'm right behind them now on entry. And then they're in the throttle. They stretch out on me. You can see them kind of get smaller. And then I'm kind of taking a little bit easier here because I know we're getting ready to slow down up here. And then whenever we get going here, I'm in 5th gear. I should have been in 4th gear. But I'm not really trying to leave them or anything like that. Not that I could, but that's not my goal, is to leave. I'm not trying to leave them. And watch, my entry speed is really high on this turn. See how like I pull out, but then I hit some bumps here and I gotta let off because my tires are so thin. See how the bike's moving around? And then they go around me on the outside. And then I'm not full throttle here because there's whoops in this road right here that I don't want to get upset on. Like, watch how the bike drops out right there. See that? And then I get back in it. 180 right here, and then I'll kind of gain some ground on them in this turn. Slowly catching up to them. Making up the ground I lost. You can see the black marks in the highway right there. Look, let me back up here, I'll show you. Watching this turn, I'm going to try to pause it, and then you can see the two black marks that they left going through right before me. Ah, shit, you can't see it. I can show you. Okay, that's pretty much all of the video, but I will show you, because I still have it loaded right here. Look, hang on. Look right here. Okay, right here. This is pretty cool. And I know it's harder for you guys to see it like this, but I'm going to blow it up. There we go. Right here. See, like you can see like that black mark right here, and I think that's one right there. See that? Right here. That right there is from one of them. You can see that's his line. See him right here? Look, you can connect that line right there to him. See? It's right there. Yeah, everybody was leaving the black trails out there. And then this one might have been him. So that's Alex up there, I believe, and Fedoni right there. Yeah. So, pretty cool stuff. Good riding. Definitely a good ride with them. It's always fun. It's always fun riding with them. That's a really bumpy turn right there. You can look at the bike moving around. Like when you speed it up a little bit, you can see how rough it is. See, I zoomed in on that section. But look at the bike just going boom, 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 boom. And then you can see the black marks on the road right there. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool run, pretty cool. That's the breakdown of that. Yeah, I weigh a lot more than they do. They're lighter, and they're excellent riders. It's really hard to catch up to them once they get out. But I manage to close the gap, which, hey, I'm totally fine with. And like I said, I don't want to be out front. I would rather have them out front so that y'all can see them because they're really cool to watch in the video. And it gives me something to really push for to try to catch up to them. It's a challenge. And I like that challenge. Being in the front, you know, I don't need to be in the front. I don't have an ego or whatever, and I'm not trying for that. And I just don't want to set the pace. I always like to stay back a little bit. I don't want to be in the back. Some people, like, whenever they get on group rides, they're like, oh, no, I just stay in the back. My buddy Rob's like that. And other people, sometimes that we ride with, for their own safety, they just let everybody go ahead, and then they go in the back. And I totally respect that. But there's two ways to do it for safety, in a sense, is to either be in the very front and leave most of the other people to where they're not really going to be an issue behind you, or to just stay all the way in the back, and that way you see everybody in front of you, right? And then you can go at your own pace and then let everybody stretch out ahead of you. And that's the safest way to do it for sure, but by far. I mean, obviously. But the funnest way It's the way that I do it, is to let the two fastest guys get out ahead and then follow them. And then it's just like kind of the three of us. But if you look in the video, I do the reverse view, and then you can see somebody else back there not too far behind. The dude on the black twin cylinder Ducati, he's fast, man. His bike handle's good, and it's got a lot of power. It's just the L twin. I forget what size it is. I think it's like a 9 something. I don't know. I don't remember what size it is. It's a Panigale, but I don't know. I think it's a 16. It's a 2016 model. And it was white with red wheels, but he painted the wheels black and then did a black wrap on it. He does wraps. And it looks factory because he put the white Ducati, perfect Ducati lettering and stuff on it. It looks factory, like it came from the factory black. It was in the other video where we were doing the roll racing, and he pulls up. He was the one that was right behind me in the last video. That we went out last week, last Sunday's ride. So, yeah, he moves on that thing. I didn't realize that he was that fast on that, but he is. So that was cool. It's always cool, like whenever you have people that that you can ride with out there, because it's not fun. I don't want to say it's not fun, but I've been out on route runs where I've been the absolute fastest person, like by far, and I can go and stretch out, but then I could just go and then just be by myself. You know what I mean? And just ride, be by myself. Because on that particular day, I was faster than everybody else I was with. But whenever I'm riding with, and there's other people, some go faster than me, and I'm faster than some. But if you have people that are kind of in your same level, your same speed zone, it kind of makes it more interesting and fun, especially in the videos. So these type of like whenever you're really, I mean, I love that shit. I absolutely love it. I love it, but the reason why I hesitated when I was talking about it a second ago is because a lot goes, like I said the other day, there's a lot that goes through your mind. Because I don't normally pin my bike and hold it there. These two guys, Alex and Fedoni, they regularly, I think, pin it and just hold it there. See, I don't normally do that. I don't normally just hit it wide open. But when I'm trying to catch up to them, because they're out ahead of me and they're fast, so whenever I try to catch up to them, I've got to pin it to get to make up the ground and hold it there and really dive into in order, like you saw, like they'll stretch out on me on the straights, and then on a couple of those turns when I really caught up to them was on my entry speed into the turn, because I was just flying into the turn, like wasn't no braking or anything, just holding it open longer and then just diving into it, and then I would be able to push up on them a little bit closer in those modes. Then we go through the turn, we kind of hold, and then they're throttling out of the turn, and then they're stretching out on me again. So I have to work back up again and try to get my speed up, because it takes me longer to accelerate because of my extra weight. And then in the next turn, go faster into the turn, and then I can catch up to them. At least that's what was happening on that particular ride, because I was probably, especially in that first section on the blacktop where I was doing like 180 plus in the turns. That was just me just saying, I am going to catch up to them. I don't care what it takes. And normally when I'm by myself, I would never ride that fast. I wouldn't. But I had a goal to catch up to them, just out of, I guess, I don't want to say ego, but just I'm I just said it in my mind. I said I'm whatever it takes, I'm going to catch up to them. And I was able to do it and not die, thankfully. So anyway, oh, Matthew, that's you. That okay, so you're on the 25 duck. So okay, that's cool, man. So you could see what the perspective was now. Like from our view, right? Okay. That's cool. That's cool, man. Uh Dean says, dang, laying down that much tire wear that you can see their lines. I would not have thought that would happen. No wonder why tires wear so fast at speed like that. Yeah. There's a couple of reasons, Dean. Was several reasons. One is the soft tire compound is designed to give way a little bit whenever it's gripping, right? Some of it's scuffed soft because it's kind of like almost like an eraser, like on your pencil. It's kind of soft, and when you rub it, some of it comes off, like whenever like you're erasing something on a piece of paper. It's kind of like that a little bit, you know, because it's soft and it's designed to give way, and that's what carries the lead away. But so there's the soft nature of it for grip, and then it scuffs some of it off because it's not a hard tire. Like car tires, on the other hand, they don't need to be super sticky and grippy as much as bike tires, because the car is much heavier and you can use a harder compound, and the weight of the car is still going to stick it to the pavement pretty well. And what you get is you get a lot more mileage out of a car tire because of that, because it doesn't need to be so grippy that it's not slipping out all the time because of the extra weight of the car, and you don't need the extra grip for safety like you do on a motorcycle. So the tires, motorcycle tires, last nowhere. At least sport bike tires, like what we're running, don't last anywhere near as much as a car tire for that reason. So you're going to see it come off on the road because of that. Number two, it's hot as F out there. So hot Sunday. Amazingly hot. So that's going to make, okay, so the concrete is a higher temperature. Just if you're just cruising on it at 60 miles per hour, where your tire's not really going to get that hot from your riding, just from touching the ground because of the sun, because it was so hot, like almost 100 degrees. So you're already going to have a hot tire just from that. But then when you're doing high triple digit speeds, diving into turns, and then not just taking the turn and the weight of the bike, you know, just the forces of making the turn, but if you're adding throttle at the same time, here I'll show you one turn that I can really show you that. Yeah, I think it's right here. This is like the first left-hander, and see, going here, and you can see a little bit right there, but this may not be see, like you can see it right there. That's the black mark right there from my tire. But the more throttle you give it, the more of a mark there's going to be. And I think maybe it's back here, because I remember seeing it. Yeah, right here. This, see, because what's happening here, see, we got this guy, and see that this is an upright naked bike of some kind. What is this thing? 650F. Okay, so it's a parallel twin, right? And it's not a big bike. It's just a 650. And he's got his boots and gloves, but he's not wearing any gear. But that's okay. That's his choice. And it looks like it's stock too, right? Because that's the catalytic converter. But anyway, I was just giving you a look at this bike, whatever it is. It's a CB, okay, a CB 650 Honda, which I'm sure is a wonderful machine, by the way. It's just even if he's full throttle here, he may be full throttle right here, but it's the Ducati makes it look like it's not. But if you watch right here, as soon as we pass, I'm applying throttle. See, because I'm starting to apply throttle here as I'm going around him, and then I'm leaning and really starting to roll the throttle on. And then see that black mark right there? That's my tires being put down there. And because when you're leaned over and then adding, see, you can really see it right there. That's when the power band is really kicking in. If I was to hit play on this, you'd hear the audio and you'd hear the engine increasing and seeing the black mark increase with the engine speed. Let's watch it and see if it's not too choppy. Hear the motor, and then it's putting down, oh shit, hang on, it's putting down the black mark, because not only are you leaning, but you're also adding a lot of forces due to the acceleration. So you got all of that, and we're leaned over far. I mean, I know it doesn't really, like when you're in the in the helmet cam, you don't really get a good sense of how much the bike is leaning. But this tail cam, that's how far the bike's leaning right there. So you can see whatever degree that is, like 45 degrees at least, right? And if you look at the speed in that turn, 172 right there, maybe even faster than that. See, there was 174, but it kind of fluctuates a little bit. But let's just say it's 170 coming out of that turn. And in the turn, it would be that too. I can get rid of the rear view and show you. Oh, look. So there's 178 right there. So that's how you can see it. 178 at 12,400 RPM in a 45-degree bank to the left. The duck moves. It definitely's got a lot of power. So a steady 170 and then coming out, picking up a little bit. Just trying to make up ground, which I am. Look how far away these guys are, which they're not as far as they appear to be in the camera, but in real life they're a little bit closer. But look, you can see them two up front. You can see them right there, and then this guy, and then this one. Now you can see this guy leave a black mark right here too. See right there? See it? Let me back up just a little bit. Look at that. See that black mark right there? And you can see how far he's leaned over. I'm equally as leaned over as he is, because we're going roughly the same speed. And you see he's not hanging off too far. At these speeds, you don't need to hang off. You don't need to go crazy. Like if you're doing 170 miles per hour, if you stick your body out into the wind, it's going to catch, right? It's going to be like super, like a hard blast of wind, right? Like right on your body. You don't need that. You need the protection of the fairing at that speed. This is real rough road right through here too. You see how the pavement all changes? Look how the bike's moving around. It's like pop, 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 just bucking all over the place. So some turns you can take a lot faster than others. You just got to know, you know. And I'm very familiar with that route because I've been down it so many times. I used to only do it at night. now it's daytime. So Pezzy's like, I'd be way in the back. SJM rides. 600s will never hang with the 1K crew on fast rides. Yeah, but in the twisties, yeah, I mean, the slow. If the leader bikes can't stretch out, if there's no room for them to stretch out, but a leader bike can still pull stronger out of a turn in a twisty than a 600 can, but they're much more closely related. But depending upon the bike, the 600 might handle better in the turn. So the 600 could potentially have more entry speed into a turn and then hold a higher speed in the turn compared to another bike. It just depends on what bike it is and the setting and how it's set up and what tires you're running. There's a lot of factors, but a very well set up 600 can do very well. I ran a 600 out here, and on this exact same route that I'm showing you right here, it was we were out on bike night, and BMW bro took off way ahead of me, and I just stayed in it on the 600, and I could see him up ahead, and on the straights he'd pull away from me, but then in the turns I would catch up ground, and then he'd pull a little bit on the straights on me, and then on the next turn I'd get a little closer, and then that would repeat until I was only like about 100 feet behind him, and then the light came on the R6 and it I overheated it because I just stayed in it I kept it pinned for like, I don't know, it was over 5 minutes. It was 5 or 6 minutes of just wide open, and that was a little bit more than it liked. it gave me like some red light that came on, like an overheating light or something, and I slowed down. I thought, oh shit, I blew up my R6. But I had him right there. I was just ready to reach. I was gonna pass that fool. I was gonna beat him to the end, but my little bike said, no, not tonight. and he made it to the end, but I was right. I made it up. It took the entire route almost to the last turn, and it just wasn't in the cards because the little bike did the best it could, but it was like, I'm too hot, stop. I was like, okay, but the bike was okay. After that, it just needed a little breather, and it was fine. It did blow out the water pump seals though. Because I think the water boiled inside of the cooling system. I boiled the water in the cooling system is what happened. And the little seals blew out in the water pump. And then when we got to the gas station, I could see all the fluid, the coolant that had come out like on the side of the bike. But I was like 35 miles away, and I rode it all the way home. Then I just ordered a new water pump and put the new water pump on it. That was the second water pump. But the first one was at like 3,000 miles. It just started leaking. And so I bought a new one and put it on. It was fine until that time I was trying to do what I always do, just catch up to whoever's in front of me. And I thought I believed in my R6 so much that I was just like, we can do this. We got this. And we did too, until it had enough. It said, nah. And I felt bad. I was like, I'm sorry. I should not have done that. And I regretted doing it because I was thinking, oh shit, I hope I didn't mess it up. But it was fine. It was fine after that. But it did overheat. It did. But it cooled off right away. So let's see. Yeah, SJM says I hate keeping my 26 ZX6R in that high of RPM for long periods of time. Yeah, it's really not. I mean, I'm going to say it's really not designed for that, but it's really not designed to stay at peak RPM for that long. You know what I found did work for the R6 though? Like it would redline close to 16,000, right? And I could cruise like at 15,000 RPM. 14.5, 15,000 RPM. Just cruise there. All just cruising down the highway, and that would be like around 155 miles per hour. And I could just keep it there. Like every time coming back from bike night, I would ride by myself usually, and I would keep it at 155 pretty much the whole way back. And I have it on video because BMW Bro followed me home one time, and I have it on video. That's the R6 video with him following me behind. And that little R6 could get down and boogie. I mean, it was fast. It was super fast bike for what it was. Now, is it anywhere near as fast as the Duck? No. Oh, God, no. It's not as fast as a leader bike is, but for what it was, it did really good. The thing would do almost 170 miles per hour. I know nobody believes that when you say that, but I had it on video at 168 miles per hour on the instrument cluster. That's what I go by. I know, well, it's off by 10%. No, they're not. It's actually not. They're only off like by 3%, if at all. And this is what I'll close with tonight on that subject. When I'm riding next to somebody and I look at, and we're cruising, say we're doing 100 or 75 or whatever miles per hour or 120, and if I'm cruising next to one of my riding buddies, I can look over and I can see what their speedometer says, and I look at what mine says, and you know what? They're always like the same. Whatever speed I'm doing, and I look over at theirs, if mine says 115 or whatever, I look over at theirs says like 115, 116. It's so close. And it's a completely different bike. Well, they're both off by 10%, Goat. No, they're not. Bikes used to be really optimistic on their speed because they had a different way of judging the speed. Now, on these high-tech bikes, these modern bikes, they have wheel speed sensors like a car does. And it goes off of that, and it needs to be somewhat accurate because that's how your ABS works, that's how your traction control works, and your slide control and other functions that the computer and the 6-axis IMU and all that stuff is reading all that stuff. And I'm not even talking about once I've done this riding next to somebody, multiple times, because I'm always curious as to see how far off are our speedometers from one bike to another. I'm talking Honda or Kawasaki or another Ducati or whatever it is. They're always the same or within 1 mile per hour. They're just like, because even if you're cruising, you might be slightly moving more or less than they are. But I'm telling you, it was shocking to me, actually. I was surprised because I didn't expect that result by doing that experiment. And the person I was riding with didn't know that I was looking at that. I would just pull up next to him and kind of like look over, and then it would be the same. And I'd be like, that's fascinating to me. Completely different tires and everything. And they were whatever speed we were doing, it was like within 1 mile per hour. And I was like, I'm really surprised by that result. I did not expect that. I thought it would be like a 2 or 3 or 4 miles per hour difference maybe, but they're very accurate. And you know, the thing about the Duck is it has wheel and like tire calibration. So whenever the tires get worn down just a little bit, you just do a tire calibration, and then it goes by the wheel speed sensors and all that, and it realigns it all. So and I've done this in the past too, where normally the tire is a 260/17. That's factory. But I have put a 255 on there, which is a smaller tire. And I just do the wheel calibration, the tire calibration, and then it's accurate again, even with the smaller tire on there. See, with the Ducati, it has that. I don't know if any other bikes have it, but this one does. And I do it like whenever I whenever you take old tires off and you put new tires on, you're supposed to calibrate it. It's in the dash. It's a setting, and then you go ride it in between, I think 30 and 32 miles per hour, or 28 and 32 miles per hour. You have to, or if it's 28 and 30 miles per hour, it's something like that. And then it makes you hold it there. And you just, like in second, you got to be in second gear, and you just hold it there, and you try to stay real steady, and then it will say completed after about 3 or 4 seconds, because it's reading it. And then it says completed, and then you're good to go. It's calibrated. And then all of your, electronics and all that stuff all work off of that. So the speedometers are pretty accurate these days, because they don't operate off of a cable off the front wheel like they used to on older bikes. And then they started gauging speed by gearing in the transmission. And then if you put a different tire on, or if you change your chain and sprockets, you'd have to get this thing called a speedo healer or whatever to calibrate it after you change your chain and sprockets or put a different tire on it, to make the speedometer somewhat accurate. See, that was from before, but these days it's all very accurate with the modern electronics and the sensors and stuff. It's just not the way it used to be. So the R6 had that. It had wheels, because it had ABS and traction control and all that stuff. So that's how it got its speed. So there you go, folks. Anything else? Is there anything else y'all need from me? Am I free to go? Can I go now? Y'all make me do this, and I put in my time, you know what I mean? And it's like, is it okay if I leave when I've completed my shift for tonight? I'm just kidding. I wouldn't be anywhere else, folks. I wouldn't be anywhere else. It has been fun hanging out with you guys. Lower crew tonight for some reason. I don't know. But anyway, thanks for the super chats. And I'll see you guys in the next one. God willing. Take care. Peace.